we're going to be trying to opening a Microlife machine to detect pulses, I think. I don't have the cable to put around your hand. And some Microlife. And actually it says error free, so we're going to take it apart as it doesn't work for anything. We're trying to put in Jimmy tool for my fix-it, opening picks, opening tools, and then cutting with a knife, using a spudger, and everything we tried, it's starting to, of course, work. And we're trying to pry out. Now I'm going to put it on time lapse and I'll show you how we do it. So, we actually used some more tools. Now we are using a screwdriver, and we actually used a garden scissor to try and open up this thing. But this, we need to destroy it, I think. Like I do with the...
I think we need a hammer.
Yeah. We use a knife, some iFixit things and tools, this cutting blade. Now we're using a screwdriver. I think that's a lot. Hey. Let's go and hammer it. That's the very fun part. To show you today this machine. As you can see, it has been broken because we started trying to open it. So now I'm going to show you what its problem. It's not actually a problem. That we don't have a thing to test it. Let me show you where it is. Pop the battery pack in, which goes like this, and it turns on here, and it asks me to set the date, but we're going to jump that. Jump that. That's it. And then when we ask it to scan, I think it's to put your hand in here, but it doesn't measure anything. When we press this connector, it's not showing anything. And it says error free because it doesn't detect anything. It has a connector which you might put on your hand, but that's the only thing I know. So that's the problem. It's not a problem. We don't have the things to test this. So I would say it's untested. Just remove this battery pack, and that's it. That's the problem. So this is our device that we were trying to open the other day, and I didn't just hammer it because I wanted to try and see how to open it up without breaking the lock. It's already broken here, very broken. Then on the plastic, which we already removed, it was very scratched because I tried to scratch it. Let me put this pieces in my parts. Maybe you were wondering, what's this blue thing I'm putting my device on? Well, it's a blue mat I made. Let's put the parts there, which has a place for our screwdriver. And see, there in the background, there's the screwdriver kit. And now, continuing to open this up, get a flat screwdriver and pry off this. And I'm going to put in a time lapse because this takes quite a lot of time. That time lapse was for a bit of time, and this is impossible to take apart without giving it a big hammer, and it will jump into pieces, which is what it's going to do, I think. This is going to jump up. So I'm not going to start filming again, time lapse. So we'll show you if we can take it apart. So we found the way to open it. It was not smashing with a hammer. I removed these little things so it goes on the floor, and I didn't find screws. But now I removed these other two, and there's screws down there, which is why we couldn't take it apart. So, the way I fix it, tools up, get the Phillips one, and as down here there's a magnetic mat. These screws will stick down there. So I'm going to just remove those screws. Now seeing me do that. So put this, and actually this is the inside. The display, it's a bit wet, but you see it's a display that if there was a controller in here, which I think there isn't, it's just AC that controls it, we could use it for a project. But as you can't control a display from anywhere or from any device, we can't control this one. So remove these screws. Oh, they're tightly put in. It's clicking, I think, because this is not the right bit. This, I want to strip that screw. Let's get a Phillips bit. That is, no, I think this was the correct. just clicking maybe because it was stripped. Yes, because we take that panel out without removing the screws. And the panel is here completely. Maybe we can even put this back, but see there's broken plastic here, little scratched plastic, and let me see what's the date. 0580 on April. Okay, it's made in April and it's ABS plastic. Remove the screw completely. This is actually me that made this mat from cardboard. I'm painting it. And it's just using cardboard and cutting pieces. Maybe you would like to make one of those. Like it's not coming out this bit. Let's try another. This one's coming more wine. Get another screwdriver maybe. Let me just remove these screws and then I'll show you if I can remove them. So I couldn't remove these screws because I think they're stripped. I got another screwdriver, but the same happens. I tried with the left screw. Does appear to be moving, but not a lot. So maybe I'll need to take it apart from the other side. I don't think these screws will be necessary to take out of the machine. As they don't come out. But I think now I'll show you what's inside. I won't take it completely apart, but I'll show you the components. This should be the main board with the display, which down there should be a IC to control the display. Then we have a button board, which is the minute button, I think. And as you can see, this is a cable for this air pump. This is an air pump that fills up your thing that you put around your hand. Fills it up with air. And then it sees if it detects heart pulses on this board here. And this puts air into here, which should go all to down this board to this port here, and then we have this board, which be like an air controller system. No, really, what that is. And down there I can only see wires and things like that. So that's it. Maybe I'll take it apart even further, but this just had error-free because it's trying to charge up the cable with air here, and it's not doing anything. So that's it for this machine. I'll take it apart maybe and add another video to it. And you see this is transparent, this button, so that this LED can make it blue. When you press, it goes blue and starts measuring, and that's it. So we removed, as you can see on the time lapse, we just removed this board and the motherboard. Of course, you didn't see the part I was marking on my blue mat. Here it says motherboard. Here it says something board. This something we don't know. But actually, lots of devices have this. They have a blob instead of an IC. They have a blob which inside has an IC, of course. And that's blobs. That blob is programmed to do what it needs to do to detect pulses. So I was thinking I needed to remove this board. I think I need to remove this board, so I removed it first. And that was because I think these cables were soldered onto here, and then there would be more for the screen on here. But actually there is, and those are going to the back, to the battery pack, I think. And the next thing we'll remove, I think, this button board. We're doing something really funny with this. Let me show you what we're doing. It's taken apart all now. We turn it on. Look at that. This is very funny. It changes. So we were doing a fun thing. We know that this is a tube of air, but when I disconnect it while it's turned on, there's no air coming out of here. I was expected to blow, but if we start it again, what we were doing was, look at that display. It was going to 1 there when we blowed, really. And now we're going to get a Fames and Cosmos tube for air, and we're going to blow inside it, and I'll film what appears there on the screen. So that's what we're going to do. Remember, this is the Microlife pulse detector. You may be asking, why does it have error-free? Well, that's not a problem. We don't have the thing that you put around your hand, and that's why we're taking it apart, because it has no use. We don't have the things to use it. So let's wait, and let's go and get Fames and Cosmos cable. So we're going to try with this, the bicycle pump, and we will put, let me just put it on the stand so that I can show you better. So we will put the peak for that, then plug this in, and then when we turn the machine on, we will put this here, should be better. We just need to see what's the weight that we want. Blowing through here, and if we turn it this way, it's blowing this way. So, turn it this, and we'll turn on the machine, and I'll pump. So let's turn on the machine. Actually, oh no.
High pressure.
Actually exploded. The tube.
Machine.
Whoa! It actually jumped out. Actually with all the pressure, so you will have to grab it on. And now turn on the machine. Too much pressure. Start again the machine. I think we're just breaking
Try slowly. I
machines.
think we broke it. Try it. Slowly. What?
No, we just did that before. Not detecting this.
I think it's gone.
No. Only starts there. It goes too quickly. I think I pressed. I have a few things to show you on this device. One thing is that this pump blows paper. So I'm getting a tiny bit of shredded paper. If you have a Microlife that you want to tear down, you can remove this motor. And look what happens when I put it on top of the paper. It blows the paper, look. Look, look, look. Look, it's blowing the paper. It's blowing. It's blowing it away. And another thing, if you have a Fames and Cosmos kit, it should have this. And if we connect this tube onto
turbine.
to a wind turbine and we turn the machine on again, look what happens. It starts spinning the turbine. See? Start spinning. Then we'll stop when it goes to error free. You see? It's spinning the turbine.